Alrighty then, welcome back everybody, welcome back. So today I actually wanted to continue with the drawing itself. Took some time off, mainly because I actually went on vacation for a bit. Today I actually wanted to work on this. As you can see, it's not finished, and I actually need to get this finished by maybe next week at least. So yeah, let's get started and see where we left off. So we left off actually at the building itself. As you can see, the plan right now is actually getting this bit right here colored up, and I actually want to get this bit moved to here, so a little bit upwards. So that's the thing that I'm aiming at. So I actually want to have this bit right here. I want that actually move towards this place right there. I will change it up a bit like that, so that actually does look nice. And I need to make sure that I actually erase all of the nasty things that don't need to be there. So let me just see, this is the thing, that's that thing. Alright, so I need to erase here, I need to erase a lot. Like that. And then this one as well. Mainly because I actually want to get this thing to be moved upwards. A little bit more backwards, because I actually need to have this skyscraper effect actually on the background as well. Alright. Now that we've done that, now it's time to get this thing up and running. We have this bit right here, and I noticed that I forgot to do the detail work on this. That is on that one, yes, alright. So let's go to 5 and get started. After this, I need to get then the rocks up and running, so I need to get the rubble in this bit of the work. So this bit right here. I need to make rubble there, I need to make rubble there, and then we can actually move to the next bit, which is the coloring part. Alright, and I don't have the, alright, why don't I have the axis? Alright, I do have it. Good. And that is not a smart move to do. Let's erase that back to 11. There you go. Now we can actually get the detail work back at it again. So we need to get the detail work again here. So we need to get this bit. Let's make it sharp black. Then I need to make sure that I have this one. Easy. And then, of course, I need to get this bit like that. Like that. Easy. Alright, and then I need to make sure some rocks are just the normal ones, so I'll do that as well. Like that. Then I need to make sure that I have that detail work as well in there. Like that, we should get the rest. And then time to get this bit up and running as well. It's a lot of work, but eventually, I can get this done. So my plan today is actually just go and make this happening. Just work on this for an hour, and then after that, get myself some dinner, work, build up, and then, well, make up. Dinner. Making dinner. There you go. So midday will be like, working on this, then make some dinner, and then afterwards, well, I need to still buy the dinner, but buy the dinner, then make the dinner. And then afterwards, I need to actually get myself working on the Japanese lessons as well. So yeah. It's gonna be 2 things at once, because I actually wanted to see if I can get that done and into the rhythm. So since it is vacation time, I think I can actually pull it off. And then after the vacation period is over, I need to then, see if I can get this into a right schedule. In a right schedule, because, well, sometimes these works are a little bit more different than normal. Alright. There you go. Easy. Alright. Like that. Then I need to move this one. There we go. There we are. Now this should work. Alright. Okay, so only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to go, and then after that I can actually then finally work on the rest of it. Alright. You see, and then turn this around, and that should give me the heads up of all of it. Alright, now we actually have what I want, which is the entire thing drawn in. Now we need to get that next bit up and running, which is actually getting the next step done. So we have this bit right here. We actually need to add like, a little bit of a rusty approach to it. Alright, now that that is done, I can now get to the next bit. So we have this entire thing. Do I want this on a different layer? Yes, I do want it on a different layer, mainly because of the ability of it. So we have this one right here. So what is this? This is the pile over there. That is that pile. That is that pile. And I need to color this bit up and then create a new one. Yes. Alright, let's do that first. Let's create the thing that I want, which is then coloring this thing up. So we have all of this right now. Do we need to actually add some more detail work? Yes, but different. So we have this one. No, that one. Yes, that bit right there. So I need to now add something inside. I think I will go for a broken bit of pieces and work. And that needs to be done like so. And then of course, then I add in this bit right here. Just like that, that will work. Alright, so now we actually have what I need here, compared to anything else. Alright, now we have done that, we now can actually get started with the coloring. I want to actually keep up with the same idea as before, because it's always important to keep the colors that I already have. Because if I don't do that, then inconsistency will show up, and that is bad. So first, we're going to be adding in the stone, the slab effect. After that, we can continue doing whatever I want. All right. Do I actually want this to be continuing? I actually do want that, right? Yeah. Actually do need to add that in there. That will give us the amount that I need. Then we can actually continue. We have this bit right there. And I noticed there is some slabs here with some of the bits missing, so time to fix that as well. There you go. Small mistakes are now avoided. Now it's time to get the last bits up and running, which is the big slabs here. And after that, we can actually move to the rubble and fix the colors up there. So we're going to be working on colors step by step. And then after that, we actually can move on. There we go, and then this bit right here. Easy, and then of course move forward. There we go, and then move this bit. Easy. Now with that said, I will be able to get to where I want to be with this. So I'm trying to get as many stuff done as quickly as possible, but you know, focusing on tiny little things of aspects, it always is a little bit of an issue. But then again, that's how these things work. You just need to focus on something, and eventually, you know, it will form. Alright. Alright, now we have done that. Now we need to get the next bit up and running, which is then the other color as well. And then after that I can actually then start with the coloring itself. Oh, I need to make sure definitely that this is off. Yes, there you go. I can see that I made some mistakes. Oh well, I'll fix that later. There we go. There we go, and then of course getting this bit done. Alright. There we go. And done on that side with that bit. Alright. And now it is time to get the other side done. Easy, and then of course get the rest done. Alright. And then that should work. Alright. Now those two colors are now fully workable. Just need to color it up a little bit better. Yep, and then we're going to be using the darker color. And then that side. Yep. Alright. Time to fix that bit that I needed to fix. Which is this bit? No, that is this bit. Yes. Alright, time to go back at coloring. Nice. We're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, so now that that is already done, we can now actually get to the next bit, which is the midsection. And hopefully get the same result here as well. Of course, not everything has the same effect. Nope. And that is also a thing, so I need to fix that bit. There we go. And now we can continue. All right. There we go, and then let's see. This bit can be used. This one. Easy, and then this bit right here. All right. So that's the second color, and now we're gonna go for the darker color, and then that should solve the issue. All right. Oh. This like that, like so. Easy. Alright, now that we've done that, now we can actually continue with the rest. Which is the wall part. Alright, and then of course here as well. Alright. Let's see. There we go. That should give me a good heads up on this. Alright, we're almost done with the rubble thing. Now we need to just get the more rubble effect on it. So now we need to grab that lighter gray, and then that should give me the last bit that I need to highlight this bit upwards. It needs to not be very aggressive, it just needs to be there just to highlight stuff. And then once we're done with that, we can then actually move on to the building again. Let me just double check how long I have been busy. 30 minutes. Not bad. Not bad for coloring in an entire fucking rubble section. That is not bad at all. That means I am actually increasing on the progress on getting these things faster done. That's a good sign. It means I have improved. Of course, there are some issues here and there. You can see them already. It's not like it is not fully colored in properly. But that I will fix soon by doing this. So we're grabbing this bit. So we're grabbing this bit, and then we're going to be fixing up the bits and pieces that we left behind. And then we're going to be using the lighter color as well again. I also need to fix that tie there. That tie is not fully working because the color is actually overlapping there, which is not good. Alright, let's see. Yes, that looks a lot better. Alright, now we need to go to the main character again. Oh, well, one of the main figures on this thing. So it's this one, and then I need to go to the leg. There you go, and fix up this bit right there. Now leave it like that. Oh jeez. Alright. I noticed one thing. That is this bit. Let's see if that is not. Yes, that's not. Alright, good. And this bit needs to be up and running like that. Alright. Now we have actually all the rubble that we need. Now it's time to fix it up. And now we're adding in a darker color to represent the next bit of it, which is the layer, brick layer, which is a darker color afterthought. And notice also that some of the things have not gained yet the highlight. right. There we go. Now we have done that. Now we can actually focus on the building again. So now we're going to be opening the building itself and then use that to create more of an effect later down the line. I can also first do this bit, so let's do that. I saw some stuff here that needs to be colored probably. Alright, and then we're going to be going here with the rest. So now we're going to be focusing on this bit right here. Alright, time to use first this, or do I want to do this on a different layer? I actually want to do this on a different layer just in case. And then put it back in there when I need it. Because that way I can draw over it or below it, and then without hurting itself. Yeah, this works a lot better. Because this requires some different kind of approaches, because this is actually old stuff, and that means I need to make sure that this looks old. Technically, it's a construction site that actually got, hit by a meteor, so that's the whole joke. Let's see. That way, and that way, and that should be it, right? Yeah, most likely. So now we have that. And this bit right here. So that is that, and then I see that I left that bit behind, so now we're gonna go back to this one and fix it up, because I knew that I forgot something, and turns out this was the thing. First the baseline, then the lighter color, and then the darker color. Easy. Alright, time to go back at this one. So we have this big giant box of a unit, basically the entire building bit. And now we need to actually get this thing to work into a good condition, which means that I need to get some kind of effect that I actually wanted to try, which is this bit, and then just, like that. So we actually have like an effect that actually is like smudges that you always see on the walls when you have like old graffiti walls. Not graffiti walls, but most likely, cement walls that are actually not maintained. They always have like that wet effect on the bottom side, which is actually basically there is moist building up within the concrete itself. So that's the thing that I wanted to aim for. So I'm going to be doing that. And then when I want to do that, I need to make sure that I do this rightfully. So first I'm going to be trying to design a way of doing it. Then I'm going to make it with the move tool. I think I'm going to be aiming to do that. So I'm going to pick up the move tool. Well, technically it's the copy tool, but it's both the same, I think. So if I copy this, I can drag. Yeah, I can drag. Alright, good. So what I want to do here is aiming to do this. So I'm going to be just like that. And then once I have a good enough, oh fuck, I did not do this on the right way to do it. Oops, I forgot I need to do this on the alpha channel and not on the normal one. Because then otherwise it will give transparency, which is bad. Like now I can actually move without removing the main color. Alright, so now we have a way to do it, and then we're gonna pick up this color again. And now I'm gonna be drawing again. So let's see if this works. So that way, that way, that way, that way, and then that way. I prefer this to be a little more flattened. Like that. Then once I have decided, alright, I have this one, like that. Like that, and then get that bit also there. Alright, now I have done that. Now I need to make sure that I have this correctly. So I need to make sure that I have all of this. Alright. Now that is done, I now can actually see where I'm aiming at with this, right? I can, alright. Now I can actually design it a little bit more better. No high spark here. That should work. And then I need to now grab the color that I had beforehand and then use that as the baseline. So now we need to get a darker color here. That is too dark. That will work. And that's the first bit, and then I need to grab this bit, which is then just slightly ahead of that one. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on, get that lighting over there. Yes. Alright. And hopefully this will work out well once I have actually the whole damn thing drawn in. That is actually the thing that I wanted to go for. So now we have that. And now we have this one. And now we can actually aim to get the next bit up and running, which is then this was the first color. Then we're going to go for the highlight effect. one right there. Alright, so now we need to get that highlight effect done. So high. That is not the one that I want. Give me that one back. Thank you. I don't need to have an airbrush. Alright, so now we have done that. How do I want to do this then? Because clearly I want to actually make this happening like that. So how do I do this? Put like that? Yeah, I could do that. How does that look? Not ideal. The main issue is that I have I need to be very sparingly with all of those colors. That's the main issue. Let's lower it down again. I do like the idea, but it's not fitting enough. There, I can actually fully agree. But this one? No. Alright. So we need to get this stupid ass building drawn in with the right color amount. Ugh. It's always annoying. At least I can actually fix this one bit up. Alright, so now we have already that. And that means also this bit needs to be there as well. That bit needs to be highlighted. That's a support beam, so do I want to go for the color? No, I actually want to get this into a highlight color then. There you go. Then erase this bit right here, this color. Alright, now we have the support beam right there. Now we need to get this thing up and running. So we have this stupid ass garbage, which is the main building part. And we have open building parts as well. Alright, how do I do this? Because I have this building bit, but I need to get this thing to be a little bit more... I can keep it with the basic colors, but that will not work, because then it actually does not create the effect that I want. So, let's see. If I have the... Oh, fucking hell, it's already 50 minutes in. Jesus. Alright, I have the height. I can get light colors in here. Because it's a big building, I can get highlight colors here, like so. Does that improve the quality of the building? It does not. Good to know. So what if I add in... What if I add in a highlight? So let me just grab this, save it. Then go for this one and go for... which one was it? No. It's one of those waxes. Yeah. This one, right there. No, not that one. That one, yes. Or was it? No, it was a stamp. It was a stamp. Alright, now let's see if I can get this right. So how does that look? So I could go for that kind of approach, that I have like a half painted building. I could go for that. Needs to be subtle, but I like this kind of effect, and if I can replicate that, that is actually better. So let's see if I can get that replicated. So I need to get the highlights on this side, and on that side I need highlights like that, which means I need to then add in a darker color, which is this one right here, and add that on the line like so, which then also need to be represented here so that I can actually get that right. This can be actually hooked. Alright, so we have one highlight here, highlight there, and then I need to get this bit like so. But then this bit doesn't work. So here I need to get a full highlight then, because we're going to be using this bit as a, well, not cover, but as a way to create the effect. We have that bit like that. Like that. Let's see, so I need to get this bit slightly lighter. That will fix that bit up. Alright, so now I need to get that one as well over here. Now, let's see. Now I have that bit right there. I need to get this bit also over here as well. Like that, and then this bit doesn't need one. Alright. So now we have done that, we have done that, we have done that. We have that bit there, and then I can actually get this one. Yo, now I can actually get this thing to be working. Like so. Like so, we actually have a building with shading. Now I need to get the rest up and running of it as well. Now the question is like, do I want to keep up the shading as well on the bottom side as well? Most likely no, but I do want to need to add shading to the bricks over there. But I need to do it on a separate layer, mainly because otherwise the bricks will look odd. like so. And then I need to grab, and then I need to add in here again a highlight. Because that means that this entire building part is one bit of the entire thing, and then once the shadow is sitting there, that should work. Okay, now that that is actually finished, now I need to grab this bit right here. And then this bit needs to be then colored up. Alright, and then we should have what I want here. Hopefully. Right? Yes and no. It means that I need to do still some business. Which is this bit right here. And a bit right there. And now I need to grab a dark shadow of 35, I believe, and then just pure darkness to get this bit on running as well. Yes. Alright, where are the bricks? The bricks are over there. Time to clear it up, because that is what I need to do. Alright, now that is cleared. Now I need to clear up this bit as well. And that should be it. Alrighty then. Now let's save it. I'll leave it here for now. Mainly because, well, you know, it's a lot of work and my hands are getting tired. So, I hope you'll enjoy for now. And thanks for watching. And I'll both. Oh, hey. Oh, hey, Tyrant. So yeah, you're the first. Sorry, I will just continue then, just in case. As you can see, the main left side is now almost done. I'm still thinking of what I want to do with the top section. Maybe adding like a little bit of a lighter color towards it, or something like this. Let's see, if I have this gray, move it slightly. Because it's all grayscale, I need to make sure that the buildings are grayscale, because it's actually just, you know, construct buildings. There is no paint on it, basically. Let's see, this one? That could work, but I prefer to have this bit right here. Like a little bit of color, a little bit of differentiation. There you go. Like that. That would work. But I think actually just having this is actually better, I believe. Yeah. Having like a yellow stripe on the top part, it's better. I don't know what it is with grey and yellow. It always works so much more better in aspect. And I should not have done this like that. I should have just casually drew the line. And the rest is all rubble, so that's gonna be very easy to draw. Just metal parts everywhere. Alright, so as you can see, the metal parts here should work. So, that could just be this. But I need to make it a little more aggressive, so that is going to be the metal parts. So it's all metal parts on top of the roof. bits and pieces everywhere. That's the whole point of this construction building. It got hit. Inside of the roof crashed down. And then I need to add in some kind of yellow effect, greenish effect, because of the building itself getting crashed by it. Luckily, this is actually quite easy to do. Just need to make sure that I have this bit like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go up with the lighting. A little bit more, so I can get that metal look on it better. There you go. Alright, so now we have done that bit. Now that looks good. Now we have this middle bit, so now we're gonna go and grab a new bit, so that, you know, if I draw here, I don't draw over here without ruining it, so that's why I always make sure that I do this, and then afterwards I'll just merge them together, and that will solve so many issues, because I hate it when that happens. Oh, bloody hell. There you go. Alright, so again, grabbing this and now drawing on it. This is a metal staircase that was inside of it. So that needs to be here. That needs to be visible. Now we have some wood as well in it. And some pillars. First, let's get this thing up and running. Alright, then grabbing that second color to create a lighter effect. And that should give the metal shine to it. And then once I add even a more lighter effect, then the metal shine will actually shine even better. But right now I just need to add in the metal effect. Like so. But yeah, it's always a very long time to get these things done. Most of the things that I always need to spend on is fucking coloring things up. I'm more of a person that likes to go for grayscaling. But with this thing, it definitely needs grayscaling because of all of the, bricks and building blocks that actually are all scattered around. I'm thinking maybe adding in like a different color to the background itself to complement the gray itself, the grayscaling itself, so that the buildings themselves don't look too bland, basically. So it's not fully that aggressive on the background, because that's the whole point. I have never drawn goddamn buildings before like this, because, well, you know, it's always like I always like to keep them intact, but right now it's important to, you know, experiment a little bit here and there, and also you learn a lot from it by just doing it like this, just using gray everywhere. Except it does require some, well, red and some brown as well, because that's what I'm aiming for, at least, to make it a little bit less repetitive. Alright, so this is all that is that. This is all... Oh, there is still one letter piece. Yes, I see that. I see that letter piece right there. Cannot forget about that. Alright, now we need to get a lighter color to create a full effect on that. Come on. There we go. Now we have ourselves a good looking letter that is representing a metal letter. Easy. With metal bars sticking out of the concrete. Alright, now we need to get this thing a little bit more better. And that means I need to go even darker. Then the question is, do I want to go like this with it? Or do I not want to go like that? Because that's always the question with these things. if I pick that color, that will make the letter look odd. So no, I cannot implement that. I need to keep it like this. And then I need to make not the background. I think I need to go like, do it like that. Yeah. I need to make sure that I need to make sure that thing is gently touched, not fully submerged. So only one side need to be shadowed. So right now we have that. That looks a lot better. Let's go with this bit like so. It's always with these things, it's very risky to get it all to one side. So now we have that. That already looks a lot better, but I need to make sure that this bit is less... yeah, less light. That should solve that, right? It does, but it requires some bits and pieces here to work. Alright, so now I need to get this thing to be fully darker. So, like that one. Mainly because I need to get this scaling of it. So now we have that. That will work. Alright, now we need to get the building pieces up and running. So now we need to get the wood up and running as well. So time to pick up the wood again. The color of the wood was right here, laying on the ground, which is actually quite nice. So that should give me the heads up of this all. Like that. Lovely. Then add in a lighter color, and then add in a higher, and then add in a darker color. Lighter, darker, lighter, darker. That's how to do it. Repeat and rinse and repeat, and you should be done. All right. Easy. Metal always needs to be colored up. And now we actually have where I want to be with this. All right, so now that already looks a lot better. What color do I want to go for the inside on these things? On that metal rust bucket in the middle of the building. Maybe go for like a different kind of color that makes it a little bit more ominous. That would actually be quite cool. Like a broken down building with then the inners like wood and some more metal, but different colored metal. So probably I want to go for orange. No, not orange. Maybe purple as well. That would actually be quite funny. Like I have this metal purple metal piece in there as well. But yeah, so far so good. We actually have now succeeded in getting this bit done as well. I think I will leave it here for now. And yeah. Thanks all for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, I want to wish you a lovely day. And I will probably be back around 7 o'clock, mainly because I actually wanted to do some lessons of Japanese lessons again. Well, technically it's one whole big giant list of words, but it's always a pain in the ass to do, and that's always fun. So, yeah. Until then, I want to wish you a lovely day, and bye!